Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Heartbreak is an experience that most of us go through at some point in our lives. And helping us to unpack this topic a little further is therapist and social worker Jonathan Cupido. Welcome to Afternoon Express.
Thank you for having me.
So heartbreak is so painful, isn't it? Why?
Definitely.
Why does it have to feel so bad?
It's similar to a physical pain where somebody realized that I've injured myself. From an emotional point of view, it's similar. So people go through this. It's an emotional reaction. It feels bad. You are sad. So it's a difficult time. And that basically is similar like a physical experience. Your body basically gives you the idea that something is wrong. So when we look at it, you know, we refer to it as stress hormones that are being released in the brain. So that gives us an idea that something is wrong. And that's why people end up feeling, like you said, heartbroken. They are feeling sad, you know, going through a type of a morbid situation or period. And that's how we basically cope as human beings with that.
Jonathan, you know, heartbreak is really such a sensitive topic, isn't it? Because each one's experience is so unique to them, and it's so important that people on either side be sensitive to what's happening. But I do know that you speak of a process that one can go through very similar to grief when it comes to navigating your heartbreak. What is that?
In terms of a heartbreak, it now would look like I didn't expect this to happen to me.
So why me?
Your partner comes and terminates the relationship. You have no idea. You thought that you guys are on good terms. The relation, it's a total surprise. You are caught off guard. So that will basically be the denial. When we look at the anger, it's feelings of anger towards yourself. Maybe you've invested too much in the relationship. Maybe you anger, you know, towards your partner, ex-partner, but also towards the situation, how things unfold, basically. Bargaining would basically be something like where the person will say, don't leave me, I will do anything. You know, I will get a job, I will lose weight, whatever you want me to do. I'm ready to commit to that, but don't, you know, let us not separate or part ways. And then depression would basically look like being sad, crying, isolating yourself, not you know, willing or seeing up for going to hang out with family and friends, could sometimes lead to, you know, spoil of appetite and also sleep disturbances. And then finally acceptance is basically where you now come to terms. The relationship is over. I need to accept. I'm willing to accept. I'm ready to move on.
What are some of the coping mechanisms that we can put in place to, I guess, to be as healthy as possible during this heartbreak navigation process?
There are different coping mechanisms. If we look on a community level, I would say people then need to look out for what resources they have in the community. Maybe, you know, a spiritual injection would do good. Some people are faith-orientated, so that support system. But then there's other organizations as well, NGOs, NPOs that specialize in certain support systems that they can offer you. If we look on a family type of, you know, level, family and friends support structure is very important. So you would look at your friends, your family, even professionals, go see a therapist, just to get a type of support from, you know, other one than yourself. On a personal level, it could maybe be something where you reflect a bit about yourself, where you are, the relationship, you know, how do I move forward? And there's different things, you know, you can establish self-care habits and maintain that, whatever works for you. So it could be someone that, you know, doing meditation, just to get some better insight in terms of themselves. Maybe focus more on your goals, some things that you wanted to do before, you know, getting into a relationship, something you always wanted to do. Now you've got the time. I usually say to people, take the time. Now you've got the time, so now you can spend it on yourself. And obviously spend it very wisely. But
we also can't deny that sometimes there's shame involved, isn't there? Like particularly if someone's broken up with you. So how does one navigate that process of going, I'm feeling shame. So how do I lean on my community or my family when I feel embarrassed about it?
If they know that there is support available for me, accessing those support is very important. I can imagine that you now have feelings of guilt. You don't want to, you know, it's embarrassing for people to find out that, you know, you're separated from your partner. You guys you looked well, you You know, people assume that you had a good relationship. Now you come out and say, no, things didn't work out. But it's also, you know, life happens.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think people tend to then look at things to say, you know, it can happen to anybody. We didn't ask for it, but it happened to me.
Yeah.
How do I get up from here and move forward?
Yeah, and that is the reality, is that you're not the first person to go through a heartbreak.
Yes.
And you won't be the last.
person,
So you spoke about, you know, time, and you said now you've got the time to do the things that you've always wanted to do,
Yes.
which is a big part of self-care. What other tips can you give us in terms of taking care of yourself during this time?
Yeah. I think definitely looking at yourself physically, maybe do physical activity, not laying on the couch and binge watching Netflix. That will not work. But I think just to get out of the normal routine, try to set up things for you that you know your interests are, of course, and explore things that you wanted to do. But I think the important thing is just to think about what it is that you want to do and then go for it.
Jonathan, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure having you here.
Thank you for having me.
Please be patient with your healing journey. Take it one day at a time and be compassionate with yourself and your healing process. Every journey is unique. Stay tuned, because coming up we've got a great performance and a catch-up with Chad Simon, who also recently got married.